right now and just like jive for a second, and then we'll get into it.
Just a different topic.
Hey, let's go. All right. Welcome to episode 1 of the Calzax Gaming Podcast, where we will debate, discuss, and journal our gaming experiences, as well as the latest gaming and entertainment news. Today, we're going to have an emphasis on the game Escape From Tarkov. My name is Caleb. You will recognize me from many of our Calzax Gaming videos and streams. I have a bachelor's in computer science and math, as well as a game development certificate from the University of Texas, so I will try to involve my background in some of these discussions we have, but I'd like to let my two co-hosts introduce themselves. Take it away, fellas. Let's go ahead. Seaglem, you can start this time around. I know I gypped you last time, so
I owe you one. I'm glad you remembered.
Yep.
I'm Seaglem. I'm Hunter. And I don't have any fancy degrees like Calzax does yet, but I game a lot, so I think I'm verified to contribute to this discussion. I play a lot of Tarkov, play a lot of other FPS games, and yeah.
Seaglem's being modest. Seaglem, tell us about your gaming background. This is a gaming channel. That's what we care about. We don't care about real world stuff.
I've gamed a little bit in my time. Between being a professional Minecraft builder for a bunch of different companies and my commission team, and then from there on, I went to play FPS games at a pretty high level. I played in the CEVO main league for CS:GO for a couple of years, and played against some really good teams there, and that kind of got my aim a little crisp for Tarkov, and that's where I've been exploring lately. And it's gone pretty well so far.
As this is episode 1, guys, we want to get you fully introduced to our team. These are the guys behind the scenes. So we got Seaglem, as he said. This is a real professional gamer. We're the fake amateur ones, Sidu and I. We brought a professional onto the team.
Yeah.
To tell us what's the right from the wrong. Us video creators. So Sidu, most of the people on our channel will know you, but go ahead and give us the introduction for those new guys. Let people know.
My name's Sidu. My mom calls me Connor. I've been gaming for a long time, bro. Pretty new on the streaming scene and whatnot. But, we're really trying to put some effort into it, you know what I'm saying?
Well, for sure. Give us your background in gaming. What games have you, played in the past?
I play a lot of games, man. I'm a big FPS guy. First and foremost, I used to play a lot of, Modern Warfare 2, for example. I'm a huge on, anything from Software, honestly. I just gobble that shit up. I'm a big old 2K guy too, you know what I'm saying? I like playing sports games. Big on teamwork in games as well, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what comes from 2K. So I like to play as squads on Tarkov, for example. I don't know.
Like in the multiplayer, the co-op games, for sure.
Yeah.
So, I know I played with both these guys in a lot of co-op situations and games and stuff, so they're fans of all the multiplayers as well as the single players. I know they're big Sekiro guys above me.
Oh yeah,
huge ones. As am I. But I know I need to actually get further in the game. But as for me and my gaming background, what was that?
I suggest finishing it.
Oh yes,
you gotta beat Owl.
Yes, yeah, I agree. I believe me. He's claimed my soul. But some of my favorite games in the past are Dark Souls is in my top 5 for sure. The Witcher 3. I was a big RPG guy growing up. I played some of the FPS games. I played more on controller growing up, so I played Halo, things like that. Then transitioned more to the PC FPS games in the more modern times. Seaglem tried to get me into CS:GO back in the day, and I did play some of it, but I was never as good as he was. But
I needed a buddy to go with me.
You needed the guy to peek the corner first.
Yeah, check around that corner up there.
The pre-peek.
You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. I also played a lot of 2K as well in the past. But anyway, that's our background, yes, for gaming. But now we're all, we play a lot of things still on this channel, but lately we've been playing a lot of Tarkov, and we do want to discuss some of the new stuff that they updated most recently, because they just wiped. We know that's a big, twice a year event. So we want to discuss that with you guys. But yeah.
Huge event.
Huge.
Absolutely.
Okay, so before we actually dive into some of the meat of the conversation of what we have planned today, I do want to continue to ask you guys. So, what have you guys been gaming on these past couple weeks? And Has it just been Tarkov? Has it been anything else? And maybe even through the holidays, what was your holiday, plans, games, things like that? What were you guys up to?
It was tragic. Right once the wipe hit, I went home for the holidays, and I had to play on my like janky laptop that was like falling apart. And I did a lot more harm than good to my Tarkov career over there. It made starting out once I got back to my regular computer fuckload harder. So that didn't go very well. So I didn't play it then, and I got a late start on the wipe. So I'm actually pretty low level right now in the current one. It's been pretty much all Tarkov. I've played a little bit of Cyberpunk off of your library, actually, so thank you for sharing that with me.
Of course, no worries.
Much obliged.
Definitely. That game is a lot of fun too, man.
Yeah,
I don't play Cyberpunk on a last-gen console, so I enjoy Cyberpunk,
Right?
I mean...
Yeah. I hear that, man.
I think we've had that conversation
we
before.
lucky few.
We can dive into it more, but I just think if you're a PC gamer with a nice computer, you're most likely not going to have any complaints with Cyberpunk compared to some of the friction out there for the game.
Absolutely.
What about you, Sea-Doo?
Oh, over the break and whatnot? I was kind of in the same situation. I went up to chill with the family and whatnot, and got back. With I think I was like 4 days late to the wipe. It was kind of surprising, man, to see Pesley up here with like level 40 already. I'm just
come on, that's
just now getting
it's like
on
the LeBron
game.
James of Tarkov, So
yeah,
it's
I couldn't believe it. It really blows my mind how much they've leveled up. But besides that, I've been playing a lot of CK3 with the homeboys. That's a real good multiplayer game out there. If y'all like strategy kind of situations.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten to watch some of y'all's gameplay, and it seems kind of horrific. Y'all are really just scary rulers, and I hope you never come to any real power in the real world.
Yeah.
This might need to be shown to stream if it's pretty cool, You're withholding it back from the people, man.
Yeah, just know if you tune into Sea-Doo's CK3 stream, you'll see a lot of amputations, castrations, and blindness.
Yeah. a lot of punishment is going to be dealt out.
I've been there. I've been there in a despite the Shattered Realms not working, and I just took it out, lashed out on all my friends. Skirble most of all. Shout out Skirble. Sorry for assassinating you about 8 times in a row, leading to the demise of your entire empire. I don't know. You guys were in there. One of you guys was. I think it was Sea-Doo. You remember that?
Yeah. You were fucking fucking my wife. And,
no, it wasn't me. That was Skirble. I did. I think your wife was my lover as well. I think it was both.
It was crazy. You were fucking my wife. Skirble was fucking my wife. And then even though my wife is my soulmate, you convince her to fucking kill me.
yeah, no, for sure. I think she was my lover or something. That's crazy. She was your soulmate. Yeah, so that's Crusader Kings, man. You guys tune into that if you're new to the channel, guys. We have some Crusader Kings stuff. I know Sea-Doo will be gaming some more of that. But let's go ahead and dive into some Tarkov, man. We'll be bouncing around a little bit here. We want to just. We don't want to just keep it just to Tarkov. We'll also talk about everything in the entertainment industry and stuff like that, latest news. But we do want to talk about the wipe and stuff today. So I wanted to ask you guys, and let's go through each of our experiences. Actually, before that, let's go ahead and talk about our play styles in Escape from Tarkov. Maybe you have an all-around play style. Maybe you're like, I'll literally do anything, hand me anything that shoots any bullets, and I'll take it. Maybe you're like, I'm a sniper. Maybe I'm CQB, something like that. I guess anybody we have on this channel that we talk about Escape from Tarkov, I like to ask that question too. So I guess I'll go ahead and start with mine. For my play styles, most of the time I find myself gravitating towards the SMGs and the ARs. But just because I like that short to medium distance combat, I love having full auto. I love being able to spray someone down, things like that. I just think, they're so all around. Like, you can literally hit long shots with ARs. You can use it up close. You can use it at medium distance. I love that aspect. But because of the tasks and stuff, I found myself getting better at, sniping. Because, Tarkov shooter, you have to learn how to snipe from really far away. Otherwise, it's just not going to work out. And so like I find myself doing more sniping and like shotgun combat because of the tasks. Not so much because like I don't like using the silenced shotgun personally. I know some people that do. But like the KS-23 and stuff, I love going to factory with that and just one tapping people in the legs and stuff. So like I would say all around, but lately it has mainly been SMGs, ARs, the shotguns, the KS-23, and snipers and some pistols. I don't know. So what about you guys?
Hell yeah.
You're using the KS-23 with real bullets instead of the star round.
Oh, instead of the star round. I know we have something on stream of us going to labs with star rounds. We tried. We'll definitely have to do it again with Randy. Randy was the special guest. No Agent 47, but yeah.
That mustache just it gives him at least plus 10 chance to like dome people.
I think he was just yelling at me when we died. I think he was yelling, that's me, and I was like, that's not you, there's someone running towards us or something, because I was trying to tell him it was a sound, and then he just ran right into the fire. And we both died. That's how it goes. Yeah.
Get Tarkov.
Get Tarkov. Get Tarkov, man. Siegel or Sidu, one of you guys want to take it away with your playstyles?
How about you, CDU? I want to hear it.
Yeah, man. When it comes to FPS, generally, I gravitate towards range. Like, I like sniping, you know what I mean? I like using the scope. I like getting, like, long peak angles, type shit.
Yeah.
It's really important to, like, have cursor placement because that thing zooms in so damn much. So, definitely I usually just be looking, without even, like, zooming in most of the time.
So you're saying that you try to quick scope? And,
yeah, essentially, bro. Okay. I ain't gonna lie.
That's that Modern Warfare coming at you.
Yeah, it's like just in in my blood, honestly. So like, but I usually like running with people. I find like the game to be a lot more enjoyable with people. It's just like if you die, then it's just like I'm over here laughing because I just like got crumpled next to my homeboy. You know what I'm saying?
It's pretty. Go ahead.
Give him like some PTSD. Like I've seen my allies just like drop next to me with a bullet hole in their head. And that could have been me. Like
it's scary.
Take it back to your family.
Makes me laugh so hard, bro. I mean it. Like it really takes. Like I used to have a bit of a fear of Tarkov, but like playing with homeboys and shit, it definitely helps that out a lot, honestly.
When you hear everybody else screaming, you know that it's okay to feel that way.
For sure.
Honestly.
And if you look at like if you look at like what Nikita has said in the past, like he's also said it's meant to be a squad play game anyway. Like you literally have an advantage. As long as you don't kill your teammates and like can communicate and stuff like that, like your numbers are gonna win every time. Like
I only have like 2 TKs on my record, bro. Like you know what I mean. I'm usually pretty fucking solid at knowing who is who.
Some good numbers right there.
Yeah.
I'm decent at it. I know I've killed Calzax a couple times.
That's how it goes, man. I have some.
I have the dog tags in my inventory.
I have the evidence.
Yeah, I kept a shrine of all my teammates that died next to me. So like it was at the bottom of my stash and like took up a lot of room.
I will say they're making it easier.
Die a lot.
Like it's definitely easier now that you can see each other in the lobbies and like they're adding more clothing. It's definitely easier.
Yes,
than it used to be.
I like that feature.
I love that shit so much. I was a big fan of that.
You can critique the loadout before they come in. Like, oh hey, it seems like you decided not to bring a backpack this time. Why? It's like, oh shit, let me put that on.
Yeah. Or like, hey bro, where's your NVG?
Oh, this is a night raid.
Yeah, I've seen one of my homeboys like forget a gun, for example. So I was just like, "Yeah, bro, is someone bringing you a gun?" And he's like, "Oh shit,
we need a gun."
I forgot gun.
Oh no!
All right, Siegel, what about you, man?
Yeah, my playstyle. I'm like, what? Hear the car alarm going off outside? Fantastic.
I don't actually hear it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's just great for y'all because it's real distracting to me.
I guess that background suppression, man. It's good.
I'm just hoping it's not my truck. I'm kind of worried about that.
Yeah, rip, man.
Yeah, that's a story for another time, everybody. But shit happened.
Yeah.
So my playstyle, it's I like to think myself as a fly. Flies are attracted to like shit and like bad smells and like your ears for no reason. I'm attracted to gunshots. They're happening on the map anywhere. That's the spot that I want to be at. I will just chase them down. I'm kind of a solo player. I play a lot of solo raids. Having teammates is definitely a lot less stressful, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they slow me down, so I got to wait for the group to loot or whatever. I haven't gotten to play too much this wipe, so like I think I'm level 15 right now. So right now I'm doing a lot of looting and like going to spots to do my quests and stuff, and these damn gas analyzers just don't want to spawn for me. So
for real.
normally, like when I enter a map, after if I'm not doing any quests or looting or whatever, I run to kind of the highest populated area, try to get the best ground and get my fights going. I love getting player gear. I've gotten like messages from people afterwards like, "Oh, fuck you, hacker, I reported you just so you know who got you banned from this game," and like that's like verbatim one of them. And I think I have like 5 or 6 more that I just go back and look at, whenever I'm feeling down on myself or having a bad day. I can see all the joy that I've had in this game, and the tears, they fuel me.
See, YouTube, we need your guys' help to get Sieglum to record his actual footage so we can see all these moments. Get out on Twitter, man. Give Sieglum some love, guys. Get him out on Twitter and everything. Let's see these recordings, man. Sieglum's got some gameplay. He's a PMC fiend.
Everybody,
you should try one of these wipes where you just focus on only PMC's killed number. Like that's what some of the top people do. Like a lot of the people in the Punisher tournament, they will like literally have thousands of PMC kills, and like that's all they care about. They want to increase that number, and like
that's probably my favorite part of the game. I think definitely try to.
I bet you could get a couple thousand to a few thousand if you put your mind to it, honestly. And
put their minds against the wall, splattered.
Yeah, for sure. I know the people would like to see it.
I don't know if I start streaming, everybody will see my strats and my spots. I don't want to
you get stream sniped. Yeah, that's how it goes, man. It really does a little bit sometimes. So I guess Sieglum's got the landmark play style, as you can see. Sidu and I, we have our moments for sure, but we're about the game, the love of the game. We like to analyze other people, watch their gameplay as well, and like help you guys understand. We're just normal dudes playing the game, man. That's what it's about, for sure. Before we continue with the podcast, guys, I do want to say we have a Discord, over 100 members in the Discord. That's actually where we're filming this whole session. Feel free to hop in there. We got Escape From Tarkov players and everything. What were we gonna say?
You can click here for the link. I don't know where I am on the click here for the link.
Point to the well, no, it'll be in the description. So point below.
Right down there.
Yeah, right down there, fools.
Okay,
description.
That's where we're talking right now.
For sure. So feel free to join that, guys. If you enjoy this podcast, please drop a like. Please drop a subscribe. We got a lot more coming out. We're going to be putting clips out, future episodes of this stuff. Let us know what you want to see in the comments. Let's go ahead and move on, guys. So overall, with the new wipe, I know you said you level 15. I know Connor's about the same. I think I'm at like 26 now. It hasn't been my main focus, though, but we'll get into that. What has been your experience with Escape from Tarkov since the wipe? Fellas, I'll let you guys answer, and then I'll come back to mine.
I've had some pretty nice experiences, with the flea market, man. As soon as I got to that flea market, I made like 2 mil. Like I had like not a whole bunch of money, hit the flea, made like 2 mil off of like the things you would not expect to make 2 million off of, man. I mean, dude, those hoses are crazy.
Oh yeah, the hideout items. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro.
Screws for 60K.
Dude, yeah.
Are screws up right now?
Absolutely.
Well, they used to be.
Say that again? They were
big up. They were big up. Yeah.
Screws are still expensive.
Are they? They went down for a bit. They went down for a bit.
Back up to 50 something.
Yeah, they were like down to like literally like 8K or something.
My God.
Yeah, so I felt like I got a lot of really nice, sweet loot, like before I hit level 10. So like, fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I haven't really been having too many problems with the quests, honestly. Like I've done like a couple of them in like one tries. Like I somehow got the bronze pocket watch out of the way first go. Did Postman Pat solo by myself. I somehow made that out. Like, it's been fairly well. Yeah, I know, right? I was vividly surprised.
Well, I know you've been focusing on getting that Epsilon too.
Yeah, that's definitely.
But you're also a squad guy, so you're willing to be able to team me too. So I know.
Oh,
that's kind of been your experience. Like you're just willing to go
like
fight the fight, man.
Yeah,
I feel that,
Epsilon case. Can't relate.
Yeah.
Never needed it.
Yeah, I never needed it once.
Well, hey, see, I believe it. See, keep working, keep grinding, get that Epsilon.
Tarkov Prime.
What about you? See, how has your experience been?
So like I said, I hoed myself to start out with. I did a bunch of raids on my computer that was pushing like 15 frames a second, and just like tried to loot, tried to kill people, and didn't do that. So I squandered a lot of my original, like I don't know, wipe gear, whatever. But once I got back to the main rig, it was actually a pretty smooth start to the wipe compared to other ones. I guess I knew what to do. Like I've saved items that I needed. I knew where the Saloa spawns were.
You actually found them?
Yeah, no, like real quick, to start out with, I did a bunch of customs runs, just to get all those early quests out of the way, and like I went to Crack House like every single raid.
Yeah, Crack House is a good way to go. I just made him in my hideout, to be honest. I thought that was the easiest way.
Literally, after I had completed the Saloa quest, I went back and I found 4 Saloas in there.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So like that spot is prime.
That's crazy.
Or yeah. Other than that, I like I like how it feels to have shitty gear and going out in the world again. It brought a lot more fear back into my Tarkov playing, so I forgot what it felt like to be scared. Normally I have an HK, some killer armor, shit like that, and now I have a short Mosin and like a cracker, and that's what I'm going out in the world with. Yeah.
Early wipe, man. That's how it is.
It's a good time.
Well,
I'm enjoying it.
For sure. I guess this question pertains to what's your guys' favorite time in the wipe? I don't know if you guys have like played all times of the wipe, but do you like the early wipe experience, mid wipe, late wipe, or you just any point in the wipe? No preference.
Probably early wipe. Well, probably early wipe then late wipe, I guess, just because I don't know. It's kind of like meta not to even like wear armor, right? Whenever people are just penetrating your shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right.
For sure. I hear you.
I'm a late wipe player just because I like HKs a lot. I like being able to have the OP gear. I'm just mid wipe is probably the least favorite because I guess I'm a late bloomer compared to Pastili and Landmark and them who are level like 60 or whatever. And they just have their gear.
Yeah.
And like I'm really early, rocking a P.A.K.A. and a AKS, some 4U. It makes it difficult, but it's also a lot more fun. Whenever you do kill a Chad, it's like, holy shit, I'm rich. I just made bank. This is great. And then like other times I'm like, oh man, he only brought 3 mags of M61. Golly. Waste of my time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Tarkov means a lot more early wipe. You get more action later on, but early on, it's a lot more rewarding.
Heard. I hear you. I hear you guys. And as for my experience, I did want to touch on that again. I think that this wipe, I tried to do something different. Last wipe, I tried to focus on tasks pretty much mostly, and I tried to go for the highest level I could while also working on the hideout, and I was willing to pay the early prices to do it. This wipe, I rushed for level 10. I got level 10 in one day, and then because I played a bunch of factory that day. And then did some of the quests, like I did Bronze Pocket Watch, things like that the first day. And then basically from there, I was trying to just focus on money. So I was like, I'm going to sell all these hideout items super early and just make bank off of them. So I ran Interchange a lot. I ran Shoreline, things like that, just trying to get money. And I think I've liked that experience. It's been nice to have cash, but now I've spent a lot of it on the hideout and stuff. And I've done a lot of money runs. More so than I did last time. And money runs are okay. They just kind of, I don't know. They're decent. Like they're definitely doable and they help out a lot later. I think I'm going to pay or I'm going to be happy that I did it later. These money runs that I'm doing now, but they're not the most fun to do in the moment. I'd much rather go take an assault rifle and go to customs or something and do like some actual tactics and stuff rather than sprint into a place with a pistol.
Right.
So I think next wipe, if I were to do it again, I would, or even from now on, I'll probably focus on just doing the quests more because you seem to still like make a lot of money from them. And the money runs, like, I don't know, they get old after a little bit, I guess, but they're definitely worth it. Like if you can just sit there and grind out like 10 shoreline money runs, they take 10 minutes, and you can find like several LEDXs, you can find a chance of key cards, you can find lion statues, you can find bitcoins, you can find all these things. And I think it's going to pay off later. I think what I've done at the beginning of this wipe is really going to pay off like in a few weeks. But in the moment, it's definitely made early wipe not as fun as it was last time, where I was just like doing my thing, I guess. Yeah, so it was a different approach, Different approach.
Those keys must be really nice. Like one thing I'm missing the most from like last wipe is that I had my key collection. I could go anywhere, and then now I'm like, oh, I'm right next to this room where the best loot is, but I can't get in there. Because the key is like $300,000.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, they're expensive. And maybe a balance will be better. Like maybe I should just, instead of only money running, like do half and half or something.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy what they did with the like loot update or whatever, right? I mean, like what's up with these marked rooms? Bro?
Yeah, dude, I bought a marked key for $700K. Okay, here's something I'll complain about. It's just a general complaint. Like I hate how people can list things for barters on the flea market. Okay, but you need an in-raid item to barter for them. Like, so I found that there was a key with tape that I could trade for with a marked key, right? And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I would do that, $700K. But then I ended up buying the key, and then it's like it has to be found in raid. And so it's that way for all the barter items. So that's just a general complaint on the flea item. I hate how to barter with something on the flea market, that item has to be found in raid,
I don't think I've ever been able to do a barter exchange. I don't think I've ever bartered besides with like dealers.
For sure.
And like, I don't know, it's just a system that seems redundant because it really just adds sugar on there and tries to scam people for no reason.
I didn't know that was a thing. Well, I didn't know you could barter.
It's the only way that you can get croutons right now for the Tushanka, the can of beef stew that you need to make to get the in-raid status on those. Or you have to run around woods to find it. It's just making it more frustrating. It's just like, if you're going to put all these barters up, let me trade. If I have the item, let me trade it, Like, especially with that key. Because it's like, all the key with tapes just get bought instantly, dude. But there's a bunch for barters, and you just can't barter for them unless you have a found a raid item. So that sucks. But yeah,
I mean that key, that room's on first floor, right?
Yeah. So that room, okay, no, that one's on the third floor of 3-story dorms, and yeah. So I bought this key, dude, and as for the global loot nerf that we were talking about, I go and I open the door, and my first use of it, it's just empty, dude. I feel like I haven't gotten a good thing in that marked room in a while, but I mean I haven't run it like crazy. Definitely Shoreline has been, I've felt the nerf on there. I haven't found a LEDX since the loot nerf. Right. It's definitely, but I guess we were operating on late wipe loot. So this is almost like a situation where it's like daylight savings is come into effect or something. When daylight savings gives you an extra hour of sleep, it's great. But when you lose an hour, it sucks, right? At least here in the States.
Right.
We're at that stage where they just pulled back the loot because it's early wipe, and then I think they're going to keep increasing it as the wipe goes, and we'll be happy about that. This is just that moment where it's like
it that way, but...
I bet that's what's going to happen because they like SSDs. You used to never be able to find those things. Now they're just in file cabinets and stuff. They did that last wipe at the end. Stuff like that. They increased them, so I bet they'll do the same thing because there's no way they can keep the loot like this all wipe.
I mean, I've had a similar experience. Like, I've only found like a Taz in the marked room so far, like a Taz, and then like a Makarov.
Sorry, kick me out. Kick me out. I don't think there's any issue on the other side. Okay, so I think that we talked about the loot nerf. We can probably touch on it some more in a bit, but let me ask you guys, what has been your most played map this wipe?
What have you been playing, C2?
Man, I have been playing, like, I've been doing, like, 3 maps, right? I've been doing customs, woods, and shoreline, and basically, like, that order, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Woods, I'm really impressed with woods, for example.
That was going to be my other question. I'll go ahead and ask that to you guys now, too. In addition to your most played wipe, tell me about what you think about the new woods map. If we're just going to talk about it. It was a question I had later. Let's just go ahead and get that out.
Heard. Yeah, dude, fucking... Woods is dank, honestly. I mean, it's like a shopping mall for food or something right now, I swear. It's a stupid amount of food spawns. It's crazy. You can literally be like, oh, I need foods to like carry me on through like these other raids. Let's go do a woods and then just find a dumb amount of food.
Like
it has a lot of loot. Honestly, Woods is looted right now.
Yeah, it's juicy. It's honestly plain and simple. And like I like how the map is set up as well. Haven't had to deal with any cultists yet, but I'm definitely hype about it.
Yeah, I haven't run into any either.
Have you played it, Sequel?
They're scary. Yeah, I did. I played it a little bit. That forward operating base they just kind of slapped over there. That's a high loot spawn. I like that spot a lot.
USEC?
Yeah.
Heard. Yeah.
That spot, I like how big it is. Like Woods, like it felt big before, but you'd run into people like everywhere. And
it's too narrow. It was too narrow. It was like a street almost. Like it's long.
Everybody's just following the like wall around the side, like past the mountain and stuff, and that's where everybody meets up. And there's like one spot to go to for loot, and that was the center. Everybody went there. But like new one, like I love everything about it. Like that new like mining area. I've died to so many people just hiding in bushes that I didn't know they could see me, and it's been great. Keeping me on my toes.
Yeah, that's kind of Woods. But yeah, Woods is way bigger now. Like it's like twice the size. It feels expansive, dude. It feels like what Woods should feel like to me now. It like you think of a big forestry area where you should be able to like fan out if you have a squad, things like that. Like it, people can hide in the brush and stuff. There's just way more POIs, which I think is good because now everybody's not going for the same thing. But then they added it like you can still go to Sawmill. Obviously, it's still got good loot. And another good change I think that they made is they made it so everybody can get on Sniper Rock. I think it should be like that or nobody. Like not just kind of like you have to have a bunch of strength or something. Like. So I'm cool with it being everybody. It's a great spot. I like it's but everybody in the map can see you there. And it's really good now though because it's like it has a full 360 degree view. It's not just the sawmill, like you can see all around the map. You're literally in the center, You're
right, yeah.
So literally Shooterborn in Heaven, grab you a voodoo, something like that, guys. Go hop up there. You get it done quick. I mean, you'll probably get sniped at too. You might get headshot, but sometimes you got to play offensively.
Absolutely.
So I guess that also continues though. What's you said? Sea Customs, Shoreline, and Woods has been your most played map. Sieglin, what about you?
Probably Customs and Interchange. I've been switching between them. I'm really trying to rush getting the Bitcoin farm because I know how helpful that is. So I'm just trying to get like all the wires, motors, if I can find a battery because those are super expensive right now. So like I'll normally run in there. I'd say Customs first off, like most played map, just because like all the early quests and stuff you can do over there. But right after that, like Interchange is where I've been going to make my money, and it's worked pretty well so far because Interchange is just the home turf. I know it inside out. They haven't changed it yet, so we're good.
I hear you. I think I'm a big Interchange fan as well. I have spent an hour and a half of my life watching the Operator Drewski video on it that I recommend to everybody. And I like that map a lot. I think that was one of the main maps I also played this wipe, especially early on. Because the nice thing about that map is a lot of the good loot is not locked up. You don't need keys. You can just get around, get to it. Obviously, the lead X's are, but as long as you hit Texo, Rasmussen, Tech Light, you're going to get some good loot.
I mean, if there's just so many graphics cards. I don't know how many raids, like last swipe at least, that I came out of there with like 3 graphics cards.
Yeah, so many graphics cards. Yeah. And yeah, I agree. I'm like kind of doing the same thing, trying to get to that Bitcoin farm. It's just worth so much right now. But that we'll talk about the economy here in a bit. But that has really like things are expensive right now, dude. Expensive. And for sure. For me, my most played map has been Factory at the first day because I was literally just going for levels. I wanted that flea market. So I played a lot of Factory. I played, obviously Customs to get the quest done there. But I have done a lot, mostly done Shoreline and mostly played, I want to say, Interchange in Factory. Shoreline just for money because, again, we'll get into the economy a bit more in a minute. But Shoreline's just, you can get so much money on there, honestly. Like, if you have the keys, and I have the keys now, like, I can make, I made like $1 million in one raid yesterday without even finding a LEDX.
I need to, switch up my playstyle, come with some friends.
I need to post the clip. It's in that Agent 47 video we just played. I literally found a Tetris in a jacket, and then I went into the next room and found a power supply unit, and then I found a SAN 220 key in another jacket. It was insane.
Yeah,
that was $1 million in one raid.
Lord. Yeah, because like I'm not afraid of too many places in Tarkov. I'm afraid of going to the resort. I don't know many times.
I think CD's even gotten over that by now, because they just go in there and die so many times. Like,
you just go in there and you try to kill some funny looking people, man.
Yeah,
the guys that don't look like homies, you fucking just shoot at them, man.
Yeah, it gets confusing.
It's just nice too. Like, if you can win your fight, you can get a lot of loot in there, man.
It's nice having a resort to yourself, dude.
Mm-hmm. But I have played a lot of woods too. Like I said, I think that you can get a lot of loot there. I feel like the loot, you can get so much sugar there, dude. I have so much sugar I'm just holding on to, waiting. It's insane, and like that's gonna be so worth it soon. So we'll see how what they do about that. What has been your most used gun and your favorite gun this wipe?
What's been yours?
Okay. Oh well, any of my YouTube viewers should know that my most used gun and probably favorite gun has been the Vector. Like, absolutely, Vector is disgusting. I need to use the 45 Vector more than I have because I need to unlock the bigger mags. But I've been having so much fun with the 9mm Vector. Like, it literally makes it so there's just not even a purpose to run the MP5 and the MPX other than you just wanting to do it. Like, the Vector is just better in so many ways. Like, the vertical recoil is so low. You have 150 extra RPM. If you go with the 45 Vector, you have 300 to 250 extra RPM, which is insane. So Vector has it's just like so steady. It's cheap. You don't have to put many mods on it. Like, you can buy it and it's 36 vert recoil, like right off the bat. You can get 70 ergo plus, super easy. Vector is definitely just.
It looks like a laser.
It is absolute laser beam. And so, you guys can check out more of our highlights for the Vector on the channel. I'm still loving this gun. I'll be using it. There's a lot of highlights.
Is it the 45 or the 9mm that you're using?
Mostly the 9mm. I have finally unlocked, 7 and 31, which is still really hard to buy, dude. If you don't buy it in the first 25 minutes of the trader restock, it is gone, dude. It is crazy. Like, they increase how much you can buy, which is great, but I still can never. Like, you have to have a timer and be on the money with that thing, dude. If you're in a raid, you're screwed. Like, you don't have time for that. You've got to get it like 10 minutes. Like, honestly, it's very hard.
I've literally seen like the timer go down. Like, there's 15 minutes left. I don't have time to get in a raid. I have to just wait.
It's crazy. So it's just like, why? I don't know why they do it like that. The AP 6.3, I can buy that. I've been using that, and obviously the 45 AP. So that is definitely my favorite and my most used. I've been using the KS-23 a lot just because it's max. I've been using the M1911 just on my pistol runs, trying to get those Agent 47 clips, so that's been fun. The 45, I've been using that a little bit. That one's fun. It's not as like meta because it's like the RPM isn't there, but it's still really fun. And this is a game where like some guns are just so much fun to use that I don't care about the meta, honestly. They're just so entertaining. But all right, you guys.
No,
I hear that.
That's definitely the SVD to me. Like
of course,
Landmark hates that gun. He just hates it for no reason. I love like the large caliber and kind of like higher rate of fire than other ones.
He probably likes that's probably the recoil. I'm guessing is why he doesn't like it.
I would guess, because normally like he's just dead on with every single shot he takes, and if the gun's not reset, it's the gun's fault. It's not his. It's the perfect gamer.
Oh, exactly. But the SVD it's very fun to use. Has that been your most used and favorite?
No. I killed Rashal and the boys like really early wipe. That was actually pretty fun. I had like I don't know. I want to say a MP5. I killed all of them, and I got this ADAR off of one of the guards. And that thing, I still have it from like level 4. And like I've insured it every raid, and it looks kind of trashy, so nobody wants it. and I guess like nobody picks it up. And I've got I found a 5.56 pretty nice muzzle brake for it. Like a pretty shitty sight. Like I was using it before I had the trader, so I just worked with what I had. And like that 8R, like really, it's done the trick. It's been with me, like I swear I've gone in raids with it like 10, 11 times. So,
dude, I've been loving the 8R personally this wipe as well. That's what I've been using for Shooterborn in Heaven, and it's so nice. It feels so good. I love it.
Yeah, no, I like it. And, I mean, I just now was able to buy good ammo for it, so that's helped out a lot.
5.6A1 or what? 5.5A1?
Yeah. 5.5A1's been expensive, so I've got 5.6
for sure. It's because people can craft 5.6A1, I think, but I hear you. The 8R is a staple. You know, for a rec battery, like so easy to get a hold of. All right, Sidu, what about you?
So, you know, I have been probably my most used gun, I would have to say, would be the SKS, just because of like how long like my SKSs usually go. Like they'll usually survive like a couple raids with that thing for some reason. I'm not sure
why.
The
ammo smacks. That's why.
Yeah, that BP, dude. That BP helped me out a whole lot, man. So that's probably my most used gun. Most favorite gun. It's cut between like probably the Glock 17, just because I recently got a Glock 17 and like it's really made me like admire like how much effort they put into like making the guns look how they do in the game. Like it's crazy. It's literally there's no distinct difference between the magazines, the the parts for it, like anything, bro. It's actually insane, if I'm being honest.
That's not the full auto Glock, is it?
No.
Is the full auto.
Yeah, that's the 18.
18, yeah.
My favorite gun this wipe, I'm gonna have to go with a gun that I haven't used yet, but dude, that Lapua Magnum just looks like the funnest, like most satisfying gun I've ever seen in the game. Like honestly,
I know for you too, as a long rifle person,
dude,
you're
that
just
thing
salivating
puts
to use
the
that thing.
fear of God into people just by the sound. And then, like, have you seen the trace? Like, it's literally like an air trail that it leaves, and like, oh my god, it's just like crazy. I was really impressed with that gun.
Every time you hit somebody with it, just a cloud of dust just like flies off of them. Like it hits them so hard. Like I want it, but for the opposite reasons. I want to CQB with it, just literally.
Honestly though,
and like put the barrel right here and just blow off
use
some
like
parts.
that. It kicks like so much though, like so hard. Like you think an SVD kicks? This thing kicks.
It does.
I hear you though. That gun looks. I hope it's more like affordable, like later in the wipe. Like it's just easier to come by.
Yeah, it definitely
like
looks
literally
like a fun time.
I sold some of the AP bullets. They were $17,000 a bullet.
Yeah, those shits are
17K
crazy. You sell them for a high price, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
What has been your guys' most significant roadblock this wipe in the game, in Tarkov? Like what quest, what hideout station, what level, or something that you were trying to accomplish was like the hardest so far this wipe for you?
For no reason, there's been two things, but for no reason it's been the gas analyzer quests. Like I've been running interchange and I know all the gas analyzer spawns, but they don't want to show up for me. They just don't. I don't get it. So I still have one left. I did one because like the quest comes in two parts. The first one you just have to turn in one. The second part you have to turn in two. And I'm on the second one and I've turned in one, but like I've tried a lot of times to get it. And like I've died so many times with some in my inventory too. And like it's just so frustrating. So that, and then also finding a battery and like a motor to make one of the things in the hideout. I want to say it's generator level 2. No, vents. It's the vents level 2, I think. So yeah, that's not ideal either. Just stuck there.
Yeah, I think I bought those on the flea for really expensive.
Those are so expensive.
They're really expensive. That's why I money run, dude. That's why I've been money running.
Yeah.
Like, well, when we get to the economy question, I'll talk more about that. But yeah, what were you gonna say? Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
Oh.
No, I'm chill.
Yeah, no, it's basically been those two things. Everything else, it's coming in its own pace. I'm not the fastest quest doer. I get distracted with killing people every now and then. So
For sure.
doing my best.
I guess for me, the most significant roadblock, again, just like you're saying, anything with the found and raid status that you can't make in the hideout is really tough, I think.
Right?
Or very expensive, either one. You know what? And so I'd say a lot of the found and raid ones have been hard. I did get my gas analyzer. I think I've still got to... They increased the amount of flash drives that you need, too, this wipe. So there's...
Really?
Yes, it's like 6 to 8, somewhere in there. They have to have found and raid. It's a lot, yeah. Keep searching those...
Spawns, but like, damn.
Keep searching those file cabinets, man. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Overall, the marking ones and all those haven't been that bad. Like, any of the in-game ones are not that bad. It's like finding the items that's giving me some pushback. But mostly, again, I've been money running. So the most significant roadblock for me is not having a Bitcoin farm. Like I'm just perpetually poor because I keep spending my money on all these powers. I bought 10 power supply units the other day. Like, that's 1.5 mil just to get the Bitcoin farm. I'm gonna have to start, dude. Graphics cards like 500K right now or something like that, dude. And I'm gonna have to start spending a lot of money. Yeah, and apparently, like they nerfed how the Bitcoin level 2. It takes 11 hours to get a Bitcoin on Bitcoin level 2 now. So Bitcoin level 3 is probably still the way to go, and that takes 50 of them times 500K. So yeah, we're talking big numbers. So that's my roadblock. What about you, C2?
Man. I think probably like it'll sound weird, but like the most like unsettling thing this game is just like what they changed with the metabolism, bro. Like I'm not used to like always having the fucking bring in water, snacks, and fucking cigarettes for my guy to enjoy while he's raiding. Honestly, it's crazy. As for actual roadblock, I would say like hideout items, bro. Like, oh man, I really hate seeing my just bank account just go bankrupt, bro. It actually kills me.
Customizing my shitty little hole in the ground. And,
I needed a fucking level 2 shitter for like 60 round magazines found in a raid or something.
Yeah, you can do it on the toilet. You guys gotta stay focused.
Yeah, and that thing costs like more than 300 grand solely because it asks for 3 hoses.
Yeah,
I could buy a mansion with that money, and I'm buying a real box.
Dude, the hoses rule all. Early wipe kings right there.
Honestly,
you're right.
Yeah, I'd have to say the hideout has really been fucking giving it to me.
Well, I hear you guys in chat. We would love to hear you guys comment down below. What's been your guys' roadblocks? What has been tough for you guys? I'm happy that they gave Sugarborn Heaven earlier now, so I can get that out of the way faster. I already got a kill. I haven't focused on it yet, but I've got one of them out of the way. So it's just good to have it.
Nice.
So if you guys haven't, I would rush your mechanic as soon as you can just to get the Sugarborn Heaven. Just in case you hit the shots, you'd rather have them count.
You're right.
The quest. And it's you just get it sooner. Like just do some farming and stuff, and you'll make it there. So before we continue with Tarkov questions, I do want to ask some other things real quick. Let's see. What is an underrated FPS game you think that our viewers should go and try out that they have not played potentially, or just one that's maybe not as high key or just underrated? People don't put the respect on the name yet.
There's this little, underground gem. Not many people have probably heard of it. Counter-Strike Global Offensive. You can, it's a team-based tactical FPSer, and it really just gets your aim crisp for Tarkov. It just makes it, where you don't miss any shots, because if you do in CS:GO, then you're gonna miss it. So check that out. Not a lot of people have heard of it, but I promise it's pretty good.
Are you someone who recommends or does not recommend Valorant? Or have you not played enough to give an answer?
I played it a lot when it was in like the early beta when they gave out keys and stuff. And I like Overwatch more than Valorant is what I'll say. They both scratch kind of the same itch, but I enjoy how Overwatch does it more than how I enjoy Valorant does it.
we won't. We'll leave that to the comments to continue.
Yeah.
We'll dive further into that conversation if you guys want us to, but we'll leave it at that for now.
Send your hate mail to my Twitter.
Siegel, this is coming Twitter, and then he'll put out the highlights, and you guys can leave angry replies to him. All right, Sidu, you got one?
Underrated shooter. I'm definitely going to go with Squad. Squad is a real good game, bro. Honestly,
I like Squad too. I was thinking about saying it too. Mm.
Oh, nice. Sorry if I took your answer.
No, I think we're just.
It was like between Squad and like Rainbow Six Siege, so I picked the letter.
I think Squad is.
Yeah, Squad is a really cool experience. It's like, it definitely completely relies on you being able to hit shots. You know what I mean? But like, it is so much depth to like, telling people tactics. Like you literally start the game with 50 people on your team. And you actually have like a general who like be telling you, and he like coordinates like off map assets, so you can be like, hey, we need fucking bombs right here, right now, and like he'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's crazy. Honestly,
it's really hard to have a functional team like that. It's like trying to operate a damn football team or something, dude, where you got 50 players on the roster. And it's like,
for real,
if you just get into a squad who just doesn't want to listen or anything, you can't do anything about it. It's not like playing with one or two people on Warzone, and it's like you can communicate at some point. Like you're trying to convince 45 people what to do, and plus like it's already hard to understand how to play the game. So it's just like when it works, it's amazing because it's like, wow, everybody's like, we're winning the fight, But it can be hard to get a good team together in that one.
They're gamers too, so it's like herding cats. They can either be toxic or
for sure.
Anybody will say anything behind the comfort of their microphone and no video. So, it's definitely harder because like if you insubordinate against your real life general, you get firing squatted. Here, it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
Well, I just remember playing squad leader in that, and it's like you have the whole commanders like trying to. It's like, what's that TikTok? It's like the guy speaking gibberish. It's like ippertickerdact or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? I feel like that sometimes the commanders are telling me like, get your units to fucking get the lodges to the west station and put a FOB there or something. And it's just like, I don't know what they're telling me, guys, but. Yeah.
Tipperdack Scabbard.
Scabbard.
Rapperdack Scabbard
is hella funny. I'll fuck with that YouTuber.
Yeah. No, that's how I feel. But all right. Back to some Tarkov stuff. We got a few more things I definitely want to touch on before we wrap up today's podcast. So let me ask you guys, what have been your overall thoughts on the new armor and the new guns added this wipe so far? And we could even include that in the last patch, the 12.8 patch. So we're talking, let me give you guys examples. We're talking the new Hex Grid armor, the Class 6 Hex Grid, which I can describe a little bit more if you guys are not familiar. But the Coroned Class 5 armor that Prapor sells. Right. We're talking the we're talking both vectors. We're talking the MCX assault rifle. We're talking the 338. I know we touched on some of these, but I do want to talk about all of them. And then is there any other new armors that they added? Not that I can think of. I know they added like the Reese helmet last in 12.8 or something.
Yeah, they got the I'm trying to think, that new helmet. The Reese helmet, you're right.
There might be one or two other things we're missing, but that, I mean, obviously like the cultist knife, I guess that's something that's new, but
yeah, true.
I don't know. Apparently that's not a permanent slot though. Like if you take it, you can just get it.
Yeah.
People can steal it from you. But yeah, what do you guys think about all that new stuff?
I really like all this new stuff. Like Battlestate Games, every time they pump out new content updates, like they do their research, just like Sidu's saying about the Glock. Like each one of them like looks and feels just like all these crazy guns, and the level of detail they added is really cool. And how they affect gameplay is dope. I mean, I say that from watching people play it, like y'all and like Landmark, seeing how they use the guns. And it looks really fun to use just because I'm level 15, haven't been able to get my hands on too many of them. Actually, I do have 2 vectors in my inventory, but that's another story for a different question on how I came to acquire those.
You can buy them now. If you're level 15,
yeah,
you can buy them. You can buy the ump. You got weapons at your
will
disposal.
definitely have to. I've heard they're pretty cheap too. The vectors, at least.
Yes.
They're a decent price.
Yes.
So that's nice.
Try to get your Peacekeeper quest done ASAP too, because Peacekeeper level 3 for 9 mil. At least you get the AP and that shit. You can buy it whenever you need it, and it does the job right now. Trust me.
Yeah, I definitely believe that. I've been shredded by it so many fucking times.
Mm-hmm.
But the only new armor I've experienced with is that Reese helmet. That's like the black Alton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've used that before. That's nice. I think the visor's a little bit bigger, so that's helpful.
I like the Reese a lot.
Yeah, real nice helmet there. And then I've also used the Corbin, last one. I like its budget, capabilities. Like, it doesn't repair well. But like, if you just want one class 5 armor for like one raid, it's does the job for a very reasonable price.
And I guess I do want to piggyback on that. I think that the new guns and armor have been really cool this wipe. And what's been interesting to see, it's been interesting to see how big of additions the Coroned, however you say it, guys. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it. Yeah. The class 5 black armor, Coroned, and the hex grid, that not only what like the addition of them to the game, but how they've made waves. It's almost like a basketball player on the court. If someone can shoot from really far back, they're going to create space, right? They're going to add spacing to the court. That's what these have done in terms of the economy. Like, you drop them in, and they've literally shifted pricing of things. Because I remember before they added the Coron, the class 5, it was like the market was not in a great place because class 4 armor was so expensive. Like, class 4 armor could cost you $100K like class 5 does nowadays. And they added that Coroned in, and that dropped class 4 armor pricing. And it kind of separated the divide. And it made class 4 a lot more viable. Because it used to be that class 4 was not worth it because it was just so much more money than class 3. And then class 5, it's just like, it was worth it, but you're already spending big bucks anyway. So they cheapened that, and then they added this hex grid, and that kind of did the same thing to the slick. At least so far, because I think they're only like 200K right now, right? Like, you have two options. It's basically the very similar to the slick, from what I understand. I'll have to do more testing.
I see Landmark using it all the time, and like, Landmark uses slicks, like these hand in hand.
And I think it just added another option, so it just made. I think you're going to see a lot more class 6 people late this wipe. I feel like they were still far and few between, last wipe, because you're still spending 400K on class 6. But if it stays 200-300K, unless Bitcoin just changes that completely, the meaning of the value of the numbers, but I think you're going to see a lot more class 6 late this wipe from all that. So I guess let's transition that into the in-game economy and how you guys feel about that. Like, literally, the Bitcoin itself has changed the game lately. And how have you guys felt that? The prices?
I was about to say that, like, whoever's, like, the economic manager for Battlestate Games and, like, oversees the flea market and checks out price fluctuations and, like, steadies it or, messes with it a little bit and stuff, they're a genius. Like, all these items that are, messing up prices for other things and making these cheaper, more accessible, or like harder to get if they're a harder item. Like, it's really smart how they're going about it, and like really complicated. And like managing this big a system must be a really hard job because the person who did the economy for EVE Online, like the finance manager for that game, he went on to be like the EU's financial administrator or whatever. So like these people are doing real like economics in a video game, but like it can be translated to real life, and I think they're doing a real good job of it. Because, I mean, besides the fact that screws cost 60 fucking K, and stuff like that, I guess supply and demand, everybody wants it.
For sure. It is definitely supply and demand.
But I have a lot of, happiness with the flea market. I think it's going in the right direction.
I think it's very interesting that how the Bitcoin is attached to, like, real world values, like, real world dollar values and stuff, because it's rising with the actual Bitcoin. So like literally I had a maxed out Bitcoin farm last wipe, and I was selling these things for 150K. Okay, this
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
it's at like 400 something K as the filming of this video, but it was up to 560K a pop for these things. Like that is a way different, dude. You know, so it's definitely rippled in the economy. Like I don't think graphics cards have ever been this expensive. Power supply units, anything that leads to the Bitcoin farm is literally like $500,000 a pop, and it's insane. So there's been that. So that I think that's changed the economy a little bit. But I do agree with what everything else you're saying.
Economy.
Yeah.
Bitcoin rules all.
So I think
I got one off of Rashala, like when I killed him at like level 5 or whatever, and like when I sold it when I got to level 10, like that was huge for me. Like that was great.
Yeah.
You get your hands on a Bitcoin, you're gonna be happy.
Mm-hmm. Tetris too, because you can just trade them for that. Like again,
Right.
Tetris used to be 100 something K. Now they're 450 or something. It's insane.
Jeez.
Any thoughts you do on the economy from your end?
Dude, yeah. Like just like you're saying with the Corone, bro. Like recently I used the Corone because I found one in a stash, I think it was. And man, dude, that thing just like lasted like the whole raid real fucking well. Like I usually don't go in with like hella crazy armor, you know what I'm saying? So like
Last 5, you'll feel it, man. You'll feel it.
Dude, yeah. You really feel the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But like like you said, the introduction of like those items really made like, you know, picking up like a level 4 like not such a bad idea for like, you know, a cheap guy like myself.
For sure.
You know
It's more budget. It's within the budget. I think it was a good idea. And plus that Corone repairs so well. You should insure those whenever the people don't pick them up as much, because it's armor steel, dude, and like literally it can be zeroed out and you can repair it from the 45 hit points. You can get back to like 44, and from Prapar, like the cheapest repair guy. It's crazy.
Nice.
Also, another thing that they did to change the economy too, while we're here talking about it, they increased insurance prices quite a bit. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
That.
It's way higher. I have not been insuring my shit near as much now because it's costing me like a third to a half the amount of money to insure the gun that it cost me to build it. Since like I'd rather just lose it and then just build another one. Honestly,
Like I'm insuring some shitty little bags. Like I'm insuring my duffel bag and my gun and like my penis helmet or whatever. And it's like, oh, here you go. You got to pay $30K for this. I'm like, I could literally buy all this stuff for like $30K. I don't know.
Yeah.
Horrible.
exactly.
No cap.
So I don't know. I don't know how do you guys feel about that? Do you think it's good, bad? You're indifferent. You're not sure yet.
It's
Raising
bad
insurance
for
prices.
early white people. Like, I mean, I guess they for some reason don't want us to insure it as much as we have been. Like, or just really focus on the important things instead of everything. But like, damn, it made it hard. Like, it made me change my playstyle a bunch just because, like, I would normally always insure everything.
Well, plus if you get it back, you got to insure it again. So
Right?
yeah, that's
Sure.
that's like literally like on a 150K gun. I'd spent about that much money making it. 150, 175. It was cost me like 50K, dude. 40, 50K to insure it. If I get it back,
Right.
I'm gonna have to pay 40, 50K again. I'll just buy another one. Like, I mean, it's gonna cost me more, I guess, but I might not get it back, and I just wasted 50K on.
I don't know. There could be like metas, like just insuring like the base gun and then just like then buying the attachments essentially, or like then throwing the attachments on.
For sure. That'd be interesting to try, honestly. That maybe Sidu
I
can
don't
put some
know.
research into that or comments.
Good
or something.
idea.
Could be
Yeah,
metas.
that's an interesting thought.
Jot that down real quick.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, and the mental notes.
I know. Sidu, do you want to talk about that clip? Maybe we can play it in the editing after this. But what was that?
Yeah,
What was that thing you found? We posted it on Twitter. We tried to tell Battlestate about it, but what was the whole situation you had going on with the breach door stuff with General?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I don't know how long this glitch has been in the game, but so there is a glitch which is most prevalent on, I think it was Black Knight on Reserve, and it was like there's like these rooms, right? They're locked doors, but they have fat loot in them. But they're located like on the corner of like the hallway. So like here's the room door, and then here's the stairs right next to the door. So there's like a corner, right? So apparently you run up to that corner and you kind of, angle it a little bit, and you can essentially like clip and just hit breach, right? And then what that does is you fucking like it like on your like point of view, you don't really move, but you basically like move into the inside of the locked door and then breach it from the inside. and which is no key,
which unlocks
so
it. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll definitely play the clip.
It's crazy.
We'll roll the clip on the YouTube version of this so people can see what we're talking about. But yeah.
Good.
Look.
Oh God.
Please. Oh, what?
What the fuck? Yo, bro. That's crazy.
What the fuck? Oh wait, no, I don't know if that worked. Wait.
Dude, that did work, bro. What the fuck?
Wait. Yo, you and me, we should run reserve after this.
That's fucking busted, bro.
It's kind of weird. Weird thing.
Honestly.
We figured it out. Hopefully they fix that.
I need to get into the Emercom medical storage unit that way. Like, get me some LEDX.
I actually bought that key. It was like,
Oh,
screw it. It's not that expensive. Oh, not Ultra, but the Emercom medical.
Yeah.
Dude, I wonder if it would work on Ultra, honestly, because that door's at a corner.
Dude.
Like,
Yeah.
oh man, that's kind of
it
crazy.
opens some possibilities. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely.
Exploitative.
I am in no way lobbying for that. I would love to see it fixed, but it's just I'm just curious. The game is what it is, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why it's beta. We are just giving our feedback here, gentlemen. Okay, so let me ask you guys about the specific thing. I wanted to ask you guys about something that recently Summit 1G was complaining about, and this ties back to a larger conversation often touched on by Veritas, and that is Tarkov's netcode. And recently Summit 1G was complaining specifically about Peeker's advantage. I know he put out a whole video about it, and I was just curious if you guys have ever experienced anything like that. But what he's complaining about is, let's say you're holding an angle. So you've got a rifle or something. You've got an angle literally held. Yeah. And let's say you're not moving. You're just holding the angle, okay? Like, someone's going to be coming up into a lane that you have the angle on. And so somebody does, and they just peek out. Let's say there's a wall that you can't see behind, but they have to come through that area to get to you or whatever. So they peek their head out, right? And you have the opportunity, like, you guys are both looking at each other, right? But in theory, because of the way that the servers work in Tarkov, they are client authoritative, it seems like, where they prefer, like, literally the server's waiting to hear from the client on where you're at in the game versus the server having all the information about where players are in the game. And if you guys want to learn more about that, just go check out the Veritas video. Maybe we can put out a more detailed video ourselves explaining that. But basically, it relies on the clients. And so when the guy peeks out and looks at you, from his point of view, he peeks out, you're already in position. And he's going to have like a certain amount of time to try to click on your head before you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're holding position. On your screen, though, on him peeking out, that has to be sent from his computer to the server and from the server to your computer, right? That takes time. So for your computer to register him actually peeking out on your screen, that's going to take time. So you're, in theory, going to have less time to click on his head than he has to click on yours because of this latency, right? Does that make sense? Is that explained well enough?
Yeah.
So, but his argument is that it's worse in Tarkov because of how it's client authoritative. Like, I don't think he knows specifically about it being client authoritative from what we can tell, but that seems to be what he's complaining about because he's saying that other games don't have the problem like this game does. And that just goes in hand with the desync. Like, if you've ever died around a corner, like you peek your head out and peek back behind the corner and then you die, that's kind of similar. That's what it is.
That's what I was thinking about, like, the whole time you're talking about. Like, sometimes it's a lot of the reverse, like, oh, I was behind a wall and I got shot in the head still somehow. Just because, I guess, my game had not caught up to their game. They just decided that I was dead instead. So
you're seeing it the other way around, yeah.
I see that, and then where Peeker's advantage is really prevalent, to me at least, is on labs. Like, all those doors with, like, little windows and stuff. I've seen it a lot right there. Like, I'm holding an angle, they peek, and they can get me before. Normally I just blame myself for not being too quick on the trigger, but, like, sometimes I swear it's ridiculously quick.
And I guess this bodes a bigger question, too, because we have you on the podcast, Eaglem. CDU and I could ask you, did it ever feel like this in CSGO? Is that how it feels when you peek a corner and stuff? Does it feel anything like that? Because I think that game is server authoritative. That's the difference to me. And whereas it's client with Tarkov. So what does it feel like when you peek around a corner? Does it feel the same like that desync factor?
I wouldn't say so. I'd say that CSGO is a lot crisper in a lot of like regards to that. If you have like really big lag or like ping up there, it can feel like that a lot of the time. But like a lot of the time, peeker's advantage does not exist. If you're holding the angle like with an op or anything, normally if your aim is on, this person will die.
Yeah.
Unless
that's good information.
Because I'm just better.
Yeah. I've like personally seen some like pretty crazy stuff with like the client base shit. Like, for example, I was over in Woods and I was scrapping it up with like this squad of 2 or whatever on in Lumbermill. Yeah, I was up in Lumbermill and this guy threw a grenade like apparently right on me, like because he like came into the stream afterwards, talked to me, and he told me that like from his point of view, he threw a grenade and it was like right like on my feet, right, and then like it blows up. And then, like, apparently I then, like, teleport to, like, the top of the wood. But, like, the whole time I was just moving regularly on my game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I was just, like, moving around. And then, like, I just went up on the wood pile and I, like, got him with a hip fire or whatever in the head, you know. And he was just, like, salty about it. But, I mean, you know, for good reason, bro. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
You just explained it. I can literally tell you exactly what happened there. Is because I think I remember watching that you had your like graphic settings still set to the wrong thing because you just reinstalled, right? And so the game was lagging hard for you on your screen. Like the game was like there was stutters and stuff. So I'm sure that the server was waiting on a response from your computer. So on your computer, you're like moving around and stuff, right? And so you see it differently. You see the grenade blow up over there. The server's waiting on a response, but it defers to you. That's why I think it is client authoritative. Again, you guys can check out literally they talk about netcode a lot on the Veritas channel. You guys definitely check that out. We can do some more deep dives into it too. But it does seem client authoritative, and that's why. Like, if the server was the person to say where people were, it wouldn't look like that on his screen. Yeah. Like, you guys would be lagging out. Sure. But because it's waiting for your response of, like, where you are, it, like, just holds you in position, but you're not really there. Right, you are on top of the logs, so the server figures that out eventually, and that's why you don't die to that grenade.
Yeah. So, pro tip: crank your graphics settings, make yourself lag, and
it's hard to hit people who are desyncing. Like literally, if you're sniping and somebody's just chopped, like they just stand in place and then they keep running, and then they stand in place. Like it is really hard to hit those people.
It's not just keep running. It's like they burst forwards. It's like it looks like speed hacking or some shit. I've seen a scav do it whenever I still have the settings up.
It wouldn't look like that on server authoritative too. They on their screen they would see that they're lagging is how it works, and then on the server like they would just be standing in place in the game or something, but they wouldn't be like lagging out like that on your screen. That's what it's. But on your own screen, it doesn't seem like you're lagging, right? It's like literally the server what other people see. So I don't know. That's just that. We'll see if they ever start working on that. It's kind of like the baseline for the game code, I imagine. So that's gonna be tough for them to fix, but it is frustrating. So I did want to talk about it. Do you guys think that they should add a rangefinder into Escape from Tarkov? And also, do you think that they should add wind? Like, if they have a rangefinder, should you also have to tell the wind and account for that?
That could be cool, I think. That'd make Shooterborn Heaven hell. But
wind is tough.
Tarkov, it's a realistic game, so if they do add it, I won't, go against their mission statement to make it as realistic as they can, but, like, it would make the game harder, but I don't see a reason why, they shouldn't, really.
Wind hurts me because it takes away, like, that bottom crossbar, bro. You know what I mean? That crosshair, you know what I'm saying? Like, it basically just takes the crosshairs out of the equation.
Well, then you have to use the side notches, right? Like I'm no expert on the scopes. I promise you guys that. When reading them helps, but I know there's like some that have notches on the sides as well as the verticals.
If they do add wind, they'll have to change a lot of mechanics, I think, because we wouldn't have any way to tell unless like we have something like flying in the wind showing which way it is. Like they might have to like change.
Yeah, that's where I guess the rangefinder would be question.
Maybe
I wonder if they added it.
L and your guy just like licks his finger and like tells how it would.
I don't think it would matter unless you're shooting like really far though, right? You know, because like if you're shooting within 100 meters, like how much is your bullet really gonna?
No, not a lot.
Yeah, but if you're shooting like 300 meters, what if you see somebody, you pull out a rangefinder, you're scoping in, you're like, okay, they're 200 meters away, and the rangefinder can detect the wind. I don't know, right? I don't know if that's how it really works.
Rangefinders are so handy.
Like if it could just tell you like 5 meters per or miles per hour, whatever knots. I forget what wind is measured in, but it's like to the east or something, so you can see which direction, and then you have to count that in for your shot.
They should really add the Coriolis effect to the game. I think.
Oh, the Coriolis, yeah, they should. Huh?
Yeah, incorporate the curve of the Earth to match.
Yeah, just make the world's longest map.
Yeah.
They should make Streets of Tarkov like 10 miles long. It's one street for 10 miles.
To be the most accurate sniper simulator out there.
Yeah, man, I'm hyped for that Streets though.
Yeah. Streets gonna be really cool. I mean, I think we're preemptively talking about it at this point. Who knows when it'll actually come out? I've heard different dates from everybody. Nobody knew when the wipe was actually coming.
I don't know.
I think it's gonna be a little bit of time.
It's been straight eye candy.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited though. I can agree about that.
I was thinking it would come out when like Cyberpunk was coming out.
Not the case. I think it's coming out.
Yep.
When Cyberpunk 2 comes out.
I'm just hoping that the FPS is good.
I agree. I think that's the problem. Like everybody talks about what if Tarkov was open world, but I just don't know how they would. They'd have to completely change how they load in the maps and stuff,
Yeah, open world Tarkov, like that's a concept.
Because you couldn't try to load in all the maps the way they do it now. Like it's just it's already hard enough to load reserve,
It'd be a lot like Dizzy.
It just unload areas until you get there.
They said you'd have to get to the labs and get out of labs like through the Streets of Tarkovs or something.
Well, I don't know if that's like
I remember hearing that.
That's like having a web, right? That's not open world though, right? That's like you go into the raid and then you're like in that area in the map, right? And then you go into a raid in the next area that's like you're touching, right? Or you're connected to. But it's not like complete. That's not like you're always in the open world, right?
That's like Skyrim gameplay. Like if you go into a cave, load.
Like Rust open world or something.
Yeah, that's like instance kind of gameplay.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it would be reasonable and or good or bad, for the devs to add extra damage or a critical chance to bolt action rifles to make them more viable? Than like to give them why would you ever choose a bolt action over a semi-automatic? Give me unless you're just going for the fun of a bolt. Exactly, like that's. But what if to make them more viable, they added like a critical bonus or something on them? Like I feel like you should be able to. I don't know. It's not easy to you have to one tap to the head. Like you can't be thoraxing with bolt actions now. You're not gonna.
I think just like a new. Really good bullet. I know they have a lot of like bullets there, but like one with some high AP, high damage.
So I guess they did add that in the 338 Lapua, right? Yeah.
Something you wouldn't put into a Mosin, but like if they had the Lapua, but that's.
But it's semi-automatic is what's crazy too.
Yeah,
like they should. I've heard people say that they think that they should have made it bolt action, but they've already added this.
There are bolt action Lapuas in real life. Yeah. Like that's the thing.
It would have made sense.
That's what I think maybe they should have done.
But now they have a semi-automatic version already. So
it's like a 2-second delay.
You don't think that they think they should add like a critical, like there's a 50% chance that no other semi-automatic has, that just literally not based on realism, it's just literally for the gameplay, that this thing has a higher chance to fracture or fragment or something and like really fuck you up. Like 50% chance of the one tap to the thorax, but maybe not, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
give them a little extra spice over.
Maybe not for the Mosin. I don't know.
Right now the Mosin is like the early game Chad killer. Like if you have a Mosin in your hands and you hit him the right spots already with the Mosin, like that's probably going to be your best chance. Just like a little.
I guess early game. To kill these
guys. Later on, there's probably not the biggest reason to use them. But like there's not too many reasons to not use the SA58 or the HK already. So
yeah, no, you're right. I hear you. I think so too.
I don't know. It's a hard question.
Well, I feel like if you upgrade, if you upgrade like bolt actions, then that means that includes the Mosin by default, correct? Then that kind of like fucking, I don't know. I like the SVD being a semi-automatic Mosin, and it just it performs the same way, except I can shoot it a whole lot.
I mean, that's a good argument you guys make in terms of it's just based on the wipe point. Like if we're talking late wipe, then maybe they would have needed to, but when it comes to early wipe, the bolt actions are way more affordable. So
the
semi-automatics are hard to come by.
That sniper with the green barrel, I forget its name.
SV98 or DVL, either one.
DVL, yeah. That one is a really good sniper. Its range is great. It's high
foldable
damage, stuff like that. Foldable, yeah. That's a really good bolt action rifle, which is viable later on still. I mean, it probably could be stronger, just because right now it's pretty much an automatic or semi-automatic meta. Given more reasons to use stuff like that besides just Shooter Born to Heaven or Camping Dome. I think it'd be good. I could see it happening.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against it if they decide to do it. I wouldn't be against it for sure
for gamism purpose. Yeah,
but I think there's definitely arguments to be made.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys think about the recent news popping up about Battlestate saying in a future state of the game they will likely have a Diablo style of the game where you can choose to play as a character that will either wipe every so often, like a seasonal type thing, or in a continuous mode where they will not wipe your character. So you kind of have the choice. Again, one, they're going to wipe you in a certain season type of gameplay, and then another, literally there's a start date, and then anytime you have that character in that version of Tarkov, they're never going to wipe you. You're always going to have your stuff. But everybody you're playing with will also be like that.
Why doesn't everyone just stay, just high level? Is it would there be an incentive to
wiping? So I guess for people that like the early game, the early wipe experience.
But if there's how's there an early wipe experience if there's level 50 chads all over the place?
They'd be in their own servers. It's separate.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see.
I kind of like it. It gives a feel of Call of Duty kind of prestiging, I guess. You can have the choice either just to prestige or to stay at your level. Just like in Tarkov, I think they should include some incentive to play at the wipe one. I don't know, maybe I couldn't even think of something to incentivize it, but in Call of Duty, whenever you prestige, you get extra class slots or a camo or something, some badges, stuff like that. So something to show. For
sure, maybe seasonal items or something.
Maybe Twitch for fucking 10 slots in your stash or something.
Yeah, that could be
that. Yeah.
If they added, so I think it'd be really cool to see them. I know not everybody likes the idea, but I think it'd be cool for them to have a battle pass or something too, and they could always factor that in. Just more aesthetics and stuff,
Subscription-based service. I don't think people like battle pass.
Thank goodness I got
whatever it is, man. Just give me some more shit for accomplishing things, in terms of aesthetics, and they're already doing that, making new faces and stuff like that. So it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree. I think it will be. I think that would be the best way to go. So it's you could have a player in a continuous mode. So if you don't want to have to play the early game stuff, you can just go with them. But if you do want to start with an SKS, things like that, you have the option.
I heard an interesting point the other day that I think they should do more work on making attachments just fucking viable all across the board.
They changed they did in this recent patch change the numbers on the.
I know they changed some.
They're getting there, but it's definitely not all the way there for sure.
I definitely would just really enjoy a game where I can fucking just deck out any weapon I choose. If I'm I feel like using the UMP right now. I like the UMP. Then I can still make that as technically viable, at least for recoil reduction and whatnot, as the meta stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know, right now there's not a lot of reason to use the grips besides the RK0, RK1 or whatever. If you're later game, it seems the wide variety is really only wide in the early game when you have a bunch of options and you can't get the best stuff, so you're using whatever. But once you don't have a reason to, you won't really expand out to the rest of them. So
I've also heard the theory too of using when you use guns, instead of leveling up your traders and just unlocking shit for everybody, you could also just like literally like Call of Duty style. Like you pick a gun like the M4A1 or something like that, and you stick with it, and then you unlock the like extra mod parts from the traders as you use it.
Oh, I like that.
You know?
Oh yeah.
So like if you want to have a meta SA-58, you can have it, but you gotta raid a lot with the SA-58 and get your kills to finally get there. You know? If you want to have a meta AP7, so if you kill a guy with a meta something or other, you know that they either got off someone else or that they've been using that gun a lot to get there. You know? I think that could be cool. Just as more like incentive
you'd be like
to use
just
the gun.
really impressed finding like a juiced out fucking gun. You'd be like, oh damn, this guy's been using this shit up.
For sure, and like you could also get off the flea market and stuff, but for the most part, if it's like their gun, maybe they could add some more like like camouflages and stuff to the guns that you can make it more personal and stuff. But I think that would just add more because they already have the weapon mastering, but that'd just be like more incentive to just sit there and play with a certain gun that I like.
Right.
So I think that's like stuff they could definitely add in eventually. We'll see. It's only beta, so you never know.
I like your game mechanic perspective on it. You gotta get some good ideas there.
Like I said, as I stated at the very beginning, we're trying to involve the whatever game mechanic things that I can talk about. And chat, let us know what it is. If you guys have any questions about anything we said or want to expound upon it, we can always talk about it the next podcast or just put out other videos explaining more about what we're talking about.
I want.
What's that?
Connor just blinded himself.
Yeah, fucking.
Okay, we're getting towards the end of the things that I have to ask you guys, but I do want to hear about your best raid this wipe.
Oh
shit! On podcast, breaking news, gentlemen.
What?
I have the news, and this is completely unrelated, guys, but we have to talk about this between us three. This is just literally us three guys. We have to talk about this. It's not based on gaming whatsoever, but it has to be talked about.
This isn't
breaking news. Nets will acquire Rockets' James Harden in a trade. Blockbuster deal.
Well, for who?
I don't know.
I swear if we got Kyrie, I'm going to scream.
I don't know. James Harden to the Nets, fellas. Oh man, just got the notification.
Is KD coming over to the Rockets?
I don't know. I have no idea. We'll have to look at that. But guys, I know we're all basketball fans. We won't talk about it too much just because that's a little different.
Bro.
But we could always do a basketball podcast at some point and talk more about it. But yeah, it's insane, man.
Breaking: James Harden has been traded to the Nets.
Yeah.
Yo.
I don't know who. I don't know what's involved. We'll find out, guys. I guess we'll know more. But
you heard it here first.
Yeah, you guys literally on the podcast. I look at my iPad. And, oh my god.
Oh my god.
We all found out together.
the end of an era, and at 3:14 o'clock pie time.
Yeah, right at pie time. End of an era.
My god.
Salute you, James Harden. And I'm very interested to see what this current. Do you think it's Kyrie Irving? I honestly don't know. I think it might be.
Well, look at it this way, bro. If you're the Nets, you're like, do we want Kyrie and Harden, or do we want like the duo that fucking almost took OKC to the fucking championship like years ago?
Well, it's tough because like they were. I mean, at least at the time of this, like Kyrie was playing really well at the beginning of the season. It's just like I don't know where he's at.
Hey, I think Kyrie plays well all the time.
Yeah.
But sometimes, he's just like brings some personal stuff into what he's doing. I don't know.
I definitely feel like I just feel misinformed about what Kyrie's going on with him right now, Like I have no clue.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe they found a third team or something, dude. I mean, I guess the Rockets finally were like, screw it. We're tired of this. Okay, what's your best raid this wipe, though, boys? I do want to hear.
All right. Mine was a couple days ago, actually. It was an interchange raid, and I spawned in with my trusty Adar that I talked about earlier. Been with me through thick and thin. And so I spawned like back, or like if you're looking at the map, I'm in the bottom right on the highway, kind of in front of Ollie. I run towards Ollie. And when I get there, there's like two teams fighting, like at the entrance of Ollie. One team's in the parking garage, one team's inside Ollie. And while they're fighting, I take two shots and I head eyes two people, two Chads, like in the middle of their big fight. like the other team's still throwing nades and stuff. They don't know they died, and they come out there to investigate, and I take 2 more shots, and I head eyes both of them. And
what gun did you say you were using?
I was using an ADAR.
Oh, ADAR. Okay. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that.
Scope on it.
Yeah.
And so, like, I get, killer armor, bastion helmet, 2 vectors, a whatchamacallit, another gun, like a bunch of loot, all sorts of good stuff. And then I'm like, all right, well, I'm overweight because my strength is horrible right now, so I can't go loot anything else. I'm just gonna get out of here. So I had Emercom as my exit, and so I run like around the outside of the building through the forest, and I hear gunshots up ahead. Yeah, surprise, surprise. Like in the forest, and I get up there, and there's like dead bodies, just like out in the forest area, and 2 people were like looting them. I take 2 more shots, and I shoot them in the head, and I took their loot. And holy shit, I look at my exit raid status. I took 6 shots, and I got 6
fatal shots. Oh my
Dang.
so much loot,
dude.
It was crazy.
Chat, commenters, we need to see this, right? We need to see this, guys.
Damn.
So
Yeah, honestly, Jesus.
If you're at this part of the video, you best be dropping a comment about Seaglum filming this stuff, because that sounds like really cool.
Yeah,
that's a lit raid.
It was wild. I don't know. Like, I didn't take any damage.
Dude.
I didn't use any extra ammo. It was as efficient as I could be.
Just
Did you
a
see?
fly on the wall.
Did you see the ADAR that I was using for the in that woods video that we recently put out, Seaglum? I don't. You know what ADAR I'm talking about, right, Cedo? What was that?
You had the L-can on it, right?
It was the it was the cheap Jaeger one. It's like the Voodoo, bro, but it's like a cheaper version of it, and it's nasty. I love the ADAR right now. And you should try to get that shooter board in heaven, because you can put some 5.6A1 in there and it's tracers, and so you can just get used to how it shoots and just go bang some heads from 100 meters with it. It's so nice, and then it's just so good up close too. I just had a candid red dot and this massive scope on it, and I'll post it in Tarkov or something in the.
I'm a fan of ADARs. After that raid, I can never go wrong with them.
Yeah, I love them.
Really well.
I love them. I love M4s
nice.
too.
I mean,
because you can just M4 is basically you can do the same thing, just put it in semi-auto, then you got that nasty full auto. So when it comes down to talking about the real guns, of course I love the M4, but the ADAR, it's right now an early wipe where it's like money's hard to come by, the rec batteries, all that. Ooh.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And it's an M4.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. You can make it look like one, honestly.
Absolutely.
Man, for like my best wipe, I definitely know Seglum CSGO pro gamer, man, but usually I come out dead in most PvPs, so it felt real good. And I did this one as well, but it felt really nice whenever I was running with some homeboys, and then they just get big old clapped by a 3-man, and then I finally get over to them, and then I took one out, took another guy out with a fucking crazy AK spray that got him in the head somehow. And then, I was just about to get, this third guy for a whole, squad wipe, you know what I mean? And I got. But, dude, jeez, it feels really nice just taking out, people who are all, working together just to kill you.
That was in your invisibility cloak video.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that shit feels really good.
That was a good moment. The gamer moment nearly got the full 3-man wipe there. I remember that.
Dude, no doubt. I was shooting for it.
I think mine was in the. It's been with the Vector for sure. There's a variety of raids. I found my lead exit raids. I've had a couple of over a mil loot run money runs, but I think the one that stands out to me the most is this one time I took the Vector to Shoreline in the East Wing or something, and just laid. It's all up on YouTube, guys. You guys can check it out if you want to see it. But there was it's just disgusting. That gun's insane. I mean, just head taps so easily because it has no kick. All over East Wing, we ended up wiping it and getting a lot of loot and getting out and
spraying.
Just anything with a Vector, man. It's so good. But I do love my ARs, like I said.
You're killing people with the Vector, or you're working to get the Vector.
Early wipe, I just really like the SMGs because they're so they have such little kick, And the ARs just they can have a mean amount of kick on the full auto early wipe before you mod them out. That's my problem with the AKs. I do like the AKs, but I do need to put some mods on them before I really feel comfortable with them.
For sure.
Otherwise, you got to be ready. Like you can fight against it, but it's some serious pulling down. Like you can't just click your mouse and expect to hit anybody. You gotta really fight that recoil.
It's about the mods, and then it's also about like your recoil control level. Like mine is tiny right now, so any gun just wants to fly out of my arms every time I click.
Oh, I heard they made changes to that as well.
They did.
Like, so you're not like just fucking Johnny Steel arms holding fucking guns, you know, whenever.
Yeah, I think they nerfed it or something.
Seems reasonable. I agree with that nerf.
Well, that wraps up all the questions. Honestly, I have about Tarkov for episode 1, guys. I think we got through a lot of stuff today. And, you know, I think this is literally the first episode of many. I know we've had fun doing this podcast. We're going to be looking to do some more. Obviously, just keep this going. I don't know exactly how long it'll be before the next one comes out. We'll just have to see until we feel like we're ready. We got the information for a new one.
Right.
But episode 1, hopefully of a long series, the Calzax Gaming Podcast. Is there anything else that you guys feel like is on your mind that we didn't talk about?
Just the fact that don't let the media lie to you and distract you with all the Capitol riots. They're just trying to distract you from the fact that Carol Baskin killed her husband and got away with it. We can't let this stand.
Yeah.
Seaglem with the conspiracy theories up in here.
Can't let this stand.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory.
He was a good man.
What is it?
Yeah.
So you have some theory about shoes or something too, usually.
Oh yeah. Did y'all hear that they've stopped making shoes?
I don't believe that.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
Breaking news: James Harden trade, and they've quit making shoes.
They stopped
Apparently.
making shoes.
What was it? They have something different? Yeah.
They've moved on to shoes too.
That's the alternative we
Equal.
can expect, guys.
Right.
Part 2.
So
the evolution.
they're Bluetooth enabled.
Oh,
Shoes too.
God.
And I wonder if they all have the toe cutouts. You know,
Keep the ones that you have right now because they're collectors now.
they're
Oh my
collector's
God.
editions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you got anything on the mind, Sidu?
Nothing, man. Oh, well, dude, big shout out to everybody who's been following us on Twitch, man. Honestly, bro, like every month, bro, I'm blown away by every time I see like the follower bar go up. Like at first I thought we were putting like high expectations, putting like 50 followers for a month, but like, dude, y'all feel that stuff and more. Like that's awesome.
Definitely agree. Piggybacking
I've
off
been
that,
like
I
really
agree.
enjoying that. Yeah.
I agree, man. Y'all are showing the love, and we want to keep giving back to you guys. So that's why we're starting new things like this. We're just trying some new things for the channel. Want to get you guys what you want to see. So yeah, definitely. Thank you guys for all the support lately.
Very good.
Yeah, for real. I mean, like y'all made it. Y'all made this like a completely different experience than what I thought it would be like going into it.
Dude, and we got a lot left in the tank, man. A lot left. A lot coming. I know Seaglem is working on. He's spending his days and nights and putting his bloods and sweat and tears and some stuff that's going to be coming out on the channel.
Yeah.
So
Big things are in the works, everybody.
yes,
No doubt.
Things.
yes. We might not even be using this background we're in right now. We'll see how long it's the podcast background for.
Yeah.
I think not too much longer, but we'll see.
We might have brighter skies ahead of us.
But yeah, so thank you guys for spending your time today. That is going to do it for episode 1 of the podcast. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Give us your we had some hot topics we talked about here, so we want to hear what you guys think. We'll get back and answer some of your questions, some of your comments on the next podcast. I'll definitely make sure to look at them and mark them down, guys. So if you want to be in on that next podcast, let us know. Eventually, we want to get these into live streams as well. So we'll get there eventually. And I think that for Seaglem and Sidu, they're going to give their goodbyes. And I will as well. We will catch you in episode 2, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Until next time.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Deuces. Peace.